is the Bijou Baker. I'm Maria. Red velvet cake. Such a great presentation. You just can't fail with this cake. A lot of people think that red velvet cake is a chocolate cake with a whole lot of red food coloring. Please don't do that. This cake has, I think, 2 tablespoons of cocoa. That's it. That's the only chocolate in there. And I have to tell you, if you take a chocolate cake and you put enough red food coloring to make it red, your whole digestive tract all the way is going to be red. So yeah, let's not go there with artificial food colorings, because you would have to use a ton of red food coloring. That's not what a red velvet cake is. It gets its unique flavor from the combination of buttermilk and vinegar, right? You think in a cake, it works. It works. You know what? I'm gonna walk you through how to make the cake, and then we're gonna play with the icing and make it pretty and then eat it. Okay, here are the ingredients. Okay, that's all you need. So I did the cake a little bit differently this time. I'm just gonna walk you right through every step. So, because it's an intimidating cake, because you think you have to do so many different things. You don't. 3 bowls, that's it. Bowl 1, bowl 2, bowl 3, combine. Bowl 1, bowl 2, bowl 3, combine. Shut up, Maria. All right, here's how to do it.
Okay, first thing we're going to do is get the pans ready. I got 2 8-inch pans, parchment paper, put them in, boom, pans are ready. I never oil or flour the sides. They lift later. Okay, bowl number 1. The flour, the baking soda, add the salt, and the cocoa powder. Mix these all together really well, and this is bowl number 1. Mix them all really well. You want to, the better these are incorporated, the easier it's going to just kind of mush through the whole batter. Mix and mix and mix and mix. Take your time doing this, guys. Don't be in a rush. You want it nice and thorough. All right, on to bowl number 2. It's just 2 eggs and your sugar. So you're going to put your eggs in a bowl, and you're going to give a rough whisk to it. You're going to really whisk it vigorously later. So this is just to kind of break it up to incorporate the sugar so everything is nice and even. Whisk, whisk, whisk. And add the sugar. It does work better when the sugar's in the bowl. So you see how it's going to combine really well. Like a very runny sand. But don't use sand. That's nice. Okay. And clean up the sugar. You know this has happened to you? Don't lie. Bowl number 3. You've got your vegetable oil and your vinegar. They actually do combine fairly easily. And just make them macerate. Just incorporate them till they're one good liquid, not separation. Then you're going to add your red food coloring. This is also where you're going to, you can change the color if you wanted. You can put in black or blue or pink for baby reveal or whatever you want to do. This is where it changes it. You won't change the flavor. Now comes the fun part. You take bowl number 2, which is your egg mixture. Put it in a bigger bowl, mix it up a bit, add your bowl number 3, which is the food coloring and vegetable oil mixture. Take your time mixing here because if it gets everywhere, it will stain. So mix, mix, mix. Look at that color. Is that amazing or what? Now, you're going to alternate bowl number 1 with your buttermilk. So about a third of the powder, a third of the buttermilk, back and forth until it's combined. Pour it in your pans and you're going to bake it 285 degrees. That's all my cakes are at that same temperature, lower, for a longer time. So 285 for about 45 to 50 minutes. After you take it out of the oven, let it cool completely.
And ta-da! Beauty, right? Flat, level, low, and slow with all your cakes. Lower temperature, 285, longer time, 45 to 50 minutes. Obviously, these have cooled. I'm not that dumb. So they're cold, they're ready to go. I'm going to show you how to make cream cheese icing. And I have to tell you, there's a ton of different ways to make cream cheese icing. I even have a few different ways. This, I'm going to show you how I make it. It is so good. This is the same I use for my carrot cakes or even chocolate. Have you had chocolate cake with cream cheese icing? Do it. Do it. Oh my gosh, there's just a lot of stuff going on in your mouth and everyone's happy. I highly recommend that. All right, so this is a list of ingredients for the creamy cheese icing. Okay, so the first thing I did was that I put in my cream cheeses, the regular cream cheese, and then the Greek cream cheese. That Greek is going to give you just enough snap to make you want more. So I'm going to cream this along with the butter and just let that kind of incorporate. You know the drill, baby. Let's scrape these sides and get to that little divot on the bottom. I'm just saying yum already because I know what the end result is like. All right, now I'm going to add my powdered sugar, and I'm just going to put it all in and then cover it and mix it. No, I want to put it in. Now, I'm not going to lie. For this batch, 2 pounds of 2 pounds of powdered sugar is a lot. If you don't need as much, just cut everything in half. 1 cube of 1 8-ounce cube of cream cheese and 1 pound of sugar, which is a box or 4 cups. So, but I'm going to make another cake, so I want more. So in it goes. We're gonna play hide and seek. Nope. It will start to, you'll feel the motor start to work a little bit more. That's fine. There we go. That's the work. So block it. Pick up the speed a little bit. One more time. All right. Now, it's way too thick to use right now, but I haven't added my liquid. So first thing I'm going to do is add some vanilla. And this is really great because this is at the bottom of my jar, so there's all sorts of wonderful vanilla bean in there. And then I'm going to add my milk. Now, in this recipe, I'm going to say some, because it can change. Sometimes I use a lot more than the recipe calls for, a quarter of a cup, and sometimes I don't. And if I want a thicker icing, I don't. Like if I'm going to make roses, I definitely want it thinner than I'm going to have this one turn out. I want that sturdy structure. So, but this one is going to be really creamy and just kind of lay over the cake just so pretty. So I'm going to put in, I'm not going to put it on all at once, but I am going to go slow because it's liquid. Oh my gosh. Here, behave. If you can't behave, you can't come to the party. Let's do this again. That right there is exactly what I want. You can see it kind of running and ribboning. That's my word, leave it alone. Right into itself. It's not, it's just kind of always staying intact, really creamy. So I'm going to clean this up a bit. Oh, see, that's right. And you certainly could not decorate with this creaminess like you could if it was stiffer or like buttercream. So keep that in mind. However you're going to use the final result, that's how you're going to determine the amount of liquid. Does that make sense? I'm saying yes, but then I often confuse myself too. So it's a party we always go to. All right. See those really nice vanilla beans. Not a whole lot, but certainly. Yes, it's still stiff, so it'll do what I need it to do, but not so stiff that it won't be spreadable. And the design I'm looking for is just that old-fashioned cover. Really no design at all. Now, let's say I covered the cake and I wanted it really nice and creamy, but darn it, I'd love to have some roses on it. Well, you can stiffen it by adding more sugar. You're going to make it sweeter, so your call. All right, so this is going to wick for about 3 minutes on high. Beautiful. Oh my God, can I just serve up a bowl of this? All right, on to the fun stuff. Okay, so with the cake that I showed you how to prepare the pan, the very first step, this is why I tell you to do it. Or why I say you don't need all that other stuff. You see how it separates? It does that by itself. So, excuse me, the cake, it rises when it's baking, and as it cools, it calms down and sinks in. That's the nature of the cake, which is why I only put something on the bottom. And it's durable. It's a good durable cake, see? So it comes out perfect, clear, clean, and we're ready to go. I'm going to clean my board and just put it down. Now, for my new bakers, you want to always, well, for any baker, you always want to make sure that your cake is center. Center on the turntable, center on the board. It's just, visually, it's going to be a lot easier on you when you're trying to spin. You see that womply? We don't want womply. We want centered. That's good. I'm going to say that's good because my eyes are used to this. You do the 2-finger test. This is a 8-inch cake on a 10-inch board. They're almost always 2 inches extra. That's just the generic rule. Do whatever you need to do for the end result of your cake. And so you figure This is about an inch from knuckle to tip, or actually from thumb to nail is an inch. So you can go there and just move it. You get it, guys. You get what we're looking for. We're looking for a centered cake. And when all else fails, stand it up. It's just cake. Okay, now we're ready to play. Okay, step one on decorating. I'm going to fill an icing bag. Now, an icing bag, yes, it's for, it has icing in it, but it's also an icer. These are icing tips. You notice the difference in the width? You see how this one's so much bigger and it's got that little side? That just lets you put more on. So you decide where your comfort zone is. For beginners, you may want this. For this cream cheese, all right, I think I'm gonna take that. And then you get your bag, and again, remember, it's measured by top to tip, and I've already cut it to fit this. And all you do, quite literally, is put it in, figure where you want it, and cut it. Now, it's not, okay? Okay. Once you whack it, it's up and ready to go. See, so it just shoves back in there. All right, I'm gonna fill it with the icing. Remember, I got my bag. Now, when it's thick icing, this is what you want to do. If your icing is very thin and runny, you kind of want to put it in a cup, twist off the edge so it doesn't go anywhere. Stick it in cups, you can pour it in. I'm not pouring this in, I'm scooping it up. Again, I want to keep my hands clean and the top of the bag clean. And this particular decoration on this cake is just a good old-fashioned homemade looking cake kind of decoration. Nothing fancy by any means. So it's pretty heavy. It's pretty heavy. You don't want to go too heavy where you struggle to hold it. You pull it up, keeping the top clean. This is where you work with. Now, I'm also going to fill it, and rather than have to struggle with that, I'm quite literally just going to leave it as it is. I'm not going to even smush it down. That's it. You can, but why? Why? You don't need to. It's not going to be seen. And then you're going to take the second cake, take that off. Now, remember, when you're making a cake and you're going to decorate it, the bottom becomes the top. You put it down and you mush it, because this is where you're going to get it all nice and secure. And yes, it's oozing. Who cares? We're not even ready for that part yet. All right. Have to work with a clean station when I decorate. Okay, now with the spatula, I'm just going to kind of smush it in place. Now, if you wanted to, and I would recommend for my beginning bakers to crumb coat this. You remember that? You're going to take some icing, water it down a little bit, smear it on in any way, put it in the refrigerator for about 20 minutes until it has a little crust. Then you can go ahead and ice it like a pro. Now, if you're not going to do that, you just want to really be careful not to get the red crumbs, just like chocolate. These stand out against that white. All right, so I'm going to just put it on top, and I'm going to be generous this because the design I want is very forgiving. you know, I think I'm just gonna smear this on here. And I want a lot on. It's interesting because you will get your crumbs. If this is your first time, guys, I really recommend that you crumb coat. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and just continue to ice this. Okay, at this stage, it's quite ugly, and that's all right, because I'm not done. So all I'm gonna do is just kind of swirl and lift. That's it, and I got a smaller one so I can have more control. And that's essentially all I'm going to do to this entire cake. Just a very old-fashioned grandma kind of cake, I guess. And yeah, for the record, we grandmas do love this red velvet cake. This will go along the sides, and I'm not pushing so far down that I'm going to pick cake up, okay? That's why I have it thicker. Also, because the ratio is going to be just exactly what I want. So, rather than have you sit and watch me piddle, I'll just kind of fast forward this for you. That's it. That's exactly what I was looking for. Just a very old-fashioned kind of finish to it. So when this gets cut, you're going to see good amounts of icing and the ratio to chocolate cake, or to the red velvet cake. How do I know? Well, I don't know. Let's double check. All right, my friends, that's it. Give it a shot. You'd be surprised. It's a lot easier than you may think, as most things are here. So go old-fashioned or be bold and make it into a beautiful wedding cake, or do whatever you want. Just eat it out of the pan and scoop up some icing. So that's it, my friends. That's the cake. And I'm off. We're gonna go eat. Until next time, happy baking.
Ah, that was fun. Don't forget to like and subscribe.